Hey guys, my name is Andrew Davidson and welcome back to another As Per My Ability video. If you like what we do here on the channel, if you like our videos, if you like our content, if you like board games in general, please comment, like, subscribe, do all that fun YouTube stuff. We really appreciate everything that you guys do to help us grow. So having said that, today's video, we're going to be talking about the good old Prospero Hall team again, because they're back at it again with another game called Last Defense. Hey everybody, welcome back, and welcome back to Prospero Hall. We are here again. Prospero Hall has another game out called Last Defense. Now, Last Defense is a cooperative game. It plays 2 to 6 players. It is for 8-year-olds. 8-year-olds, dude. And plays in exactly 20 minutes. Exactly 20 minutes. No mas, no menos. And so Last Defense is thematically, you are taking on the role of people in a village, and you are protecting the village from all of these monsters that will be showing up. And they're all just, they're aliens, they're robotic spiders. There's like tentacle giant octopus type enemies. There are, I believe, 5 enemies that'll show up. It's cooperative, that you work together. There is an app that is involved in this game, which is also a timer, and it also kind of dictates what happens in the game. And I'll show more of that in a minute. But that's why this game takes exactly 20 minutes. The app basically says, ready? All right, here we go. And then the counter starts. And so if you're looking for a shorter game, that is legitimately going to be a shorter game. Not a game that's like, the box says 30 to 40 minutes, but it took us 90 minutes to play it. No, this game will absolutely take you 20 minutes to play. No more, no less. And so why don't we cut away and I'll talk about Last Defense by Prospero Hall, and then we'll come back and talk more about it. Welcome to Last Defense by Prospero Hall, where you have 20 minutes to save the city. So essentially that's the theme of the game. It's a cooperative game where you will be saving the city from monsters that will be coming out. So let's talk about some of the components. I'm not going to be going through a lot of the gameplay, but you will be given a rule book, and this is it. That is the rule book. So seriously, just one little kind of insert page, what you do on your turn, and then, just some things about the bad guys and how to win the game. That is the rules. What you're going to do to start off the game is you're going to pick your character, and there are these thick tiles. So you can pick the skateboarder, you can pick the barbecue dad, kind of a like Matt Walsh looking kind of character, the little kid soccer champ, who I don't know what kind of facial expression that is. You can play the on-call nurse, who is always running everywhere. You can play as the construction worker, as he's ready to tee off on some monsters. Or, my personal favorite, the good dog. Arf, arf, arf! And so you will be picking your character. If you flip them over, they all have special abilities, which I'm not going to get into, but they do have abilities that allow them to kind of break the game. So you'll pick your character. Now let's talk about the monsters in the game. There are the junk blob, there's the sentient plants, there's the spider robots, there's of course your space aliens, of course, my favorite, and giant tentacles. And so those are all the ones, and in the bottom it shows you what you need in order to defeat these monsters, which I'm not going to get into, but they all have their own standees over here that I have set up to be placed on the board and these will go along with the monsters when they show up. Let's talk about the app. So you need an app to play Last Defense. What you're going to do is just download it. It's a free download. You'll bring it up. There's some instructions. There's a how to play video, which I recommend you clicking on because this video is not a really big how to play video. You're going to hit new game, and it'll say things like, have you read all of the instructions? Have you watched the video? Yes. Have you completed steps 1 through 7 of setup, which is basically the monsters, shuffling the tools, cards, and picking your person. Things I've already kind of talked about, so we'll click yes. And then the last one is everyone ready to begin playing. You guys ready? Okay. So then everyone's ready, and then you hit, there's beginner and expert, so you can click on like a difficulty level. Let's start on beginner, and then you hit next. And the game will start.
We interrupt our regular programming to bring you this important news. We have reports around the city of damage caused by unknown monsters. We have people trapped at these locations. The construction site, the shopping mall, the school, the gardens, and the bank.
So you'll place them out?
First responders are overwhelmed and are calling on local citizens to help in this crisis. You are our last defense. Good luck.
Okay, so as you saw, I kind of followed the prompt, and it's different every time. So next time the announcer might say, the factory, the megastore, the plaza, so it's not the same spots every single time, which is the great part about the app. So then, have you placed them all out? Yes, we have. And then you start. Is everyone ready to start? You start the timer.
There are unknown threats attacking the city. We will keep you informed as we identify these threats and where they are located. In the meantime, please, rescue the trapped scientists. We will need their help.
And so here's the countdown. 3, 2, 1. And the timer starts. As I've said, this game takes exactly 20 minutes to play. So the game will be over when the countdown is done, or if you actually win the game before the time is over. And so what players are going to be doing on their turn is they're going to be rolling some dice. Whatever they roll on the yellow/green dice, that's how many, focus, well, that's a 3. They're going to be taking that many tool cards. Tool cards are what you need in order to defeat monsters. As I showed off earlier, monsters have certain requisites in order to beat them. You can only have 5 at the end of your turn. You can only have 5 of these, so you have to kind of choose what you want, and you'll discard them here. The red, or I guess this is pink, number is your movement. And so you'll be able to move by these connecting lines to try to get and save these particular spots. Some of them will be scientists, some of them will be special abilities. You just really don't know. As the app continues, it will place out more things, and most importantly, it will place monsters. Now, you don't start with any monsters, and I don't know when the app is actually going to cue me in here. I'm not going to wait that long, but the app will tell you what monster will spawn where and how they will attack. I'm going to set it like this just so you can see it, and how they will move and attack. And so the app kind of delineates everything that the monsters will be doing. Your job as the players is to defend the city, to kill off all the monsters. So when you do, you go to a monster spot, you discard the tool cards from your hand that defeat that particular monster. And if you do, you go here to threat defeated. You will select the monster that you have defeated. Right now there are none on the board because the app has not told me to spawn any yet. But you would normally click on it and say defeated. And then we go back into the timer. Hey folks, I'm back. So a little retcon in my explanation of this game. When you're talking about the monsters, the things that you need to destroy them are not from the tool cards. They're actually from these type of tokens. So these tokens will correspond to certain monsters. And if you have these 2 tokens and you discard them while in the space, that is how you defeat the monster. The game will continue on clockwise, everyone taking their turns. Basically, literally on your turn, you roll, you collect cards, you move. You have to discard down to 5 cards at the end of your turn. That is essentially the game. There's a little bit more regarding like rubble tokens, like these can be buried underneath exploded buildings, like when bad guys attack and stuff like that. Oh, here we go. We're being cued in on something. Stand by.
Our top story tonight. We have reports that sentient plants have overgrown the shopping mall. Repeat, sentient plants have overgrown the shopping mall.
So then sentient plants would go in the shopping mall, which is over here. I'm laying it down so you can see it. And then you would also grab the corresponding sentient plants. Oh, this is to show that they've been defeated. And you would place them kind of next to the board to show that they are in play. Now again, you need to discard these things. And that is essentially how you play. The timer's going to keep just doing its thing, and as you play, you're going to just roll, move around, collect tool cards, and that is how you play Last Defense. So now we've reached the part where I talk about my thoughts on the game Last Defense. Now I don't try to structure my videos as review videos. I don't do like 2 out of 5, or I don't thumbs and a half up, or I don't say, I give it a B plus or a C minus. I don't necessarily do that, but I do like to offer a little bit of my thoughts in objectivity about the game to see if it's something that y'all out there might be interested in. One of the first things that comes to mind when I think about Last Defense is it's incredibly simplistic. Now, for those of you that do watch the show and have followed me through video, from video to video, I always say, and I keep to this, simplicity does not necessarily mean a bad game. Most of the time it does. There's always the exception to the rule. And so Last Defense is that exception. It is incredibly simplistic, as you saw. It integrates an app that keeps the timer moving. That's kind of cool. I like how the app dictates when things happen, when the monsters come out, and when, that's really great. I'm not a huge app person, but I think apps do have some functionality in games when there's a lot of bookkeeping to be done. For example, Mansions of Madness, Lord of the Rings, Journeys in Middle-earth, and XCOM, the board game, not the app, but the board game that's designed by Eric Lang. I think those are some pretty good examples of app integration that really help to either tell the story, give it more theme, or take care of a lot of the bookkeeping. And if it does all 3 of those, I'm fine with that. But I did do a series of videos called Get Your App Out of My Game quite a long time back. You're going to have to go way back and look them up. I suggest that you do. So let's get back to talking about Last Defense. So we already know about the app aspect. Okay, all right, let's put that aside. The game's simplistic, but it's still fun. This is a quintessential family game. And that is awesome, because families need games. I think families that game together stay together. I think I read that on a bumper sticker somewhere. It's simplistic for kids, teenagers. It's still kind of engaging. It uses an app, which younger generations, may or may think that that's, hella cool. It's really simplistic. You work together. It's cooperative. You're fighting off all these weird, as you saw, these alien type things trying to invade the city. It is fun to play with my gamer friends, which I've done, but it's kind of one of those games where you really just explore everything that you have to explore in it, and then you're done with it, And so there's not a lot of longevity. However, since Prospero Hall is this golden calf that I've created in my mind, except for that one video that I'm not going to mention because we're not going to get me down that road. They have done such great work. They do some great work here as well with Last Defense. So this is a great game. It's great for families. Probably not, subjectively speaking, probably not for me. It's not going to hit the table. It's not going to be played a whole lot. That's me. Objectively speaking, you should probably pick this up. It is a cheap game. The app is a free download. It's a short game. Like I said, it literally plays in 20 minutes. And so that is a great selling point. So selling points: cooperative, simplistic enough for families. It's not going to take all night because it'll, like I said, literally takes 20 minutes to play. And so I think this is a really good game to get into if you like the three things that I just commented on. Prospero Hall, still up there in my book, even though I probably will not be keeping this game. That is not indicative of it being a bad game, unlike another Disney game that I threw out the window. And so that's going to be it for me. This is where I'm leaving us. Once again, my name is Andrew Davidson, and I will see each and every single one of you at the next video.